It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And we've got Marshawn Lattimore.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5.
And if you look back to last week, it was all about their defense. Anytime you hold an NFL team to single digits, that's saying something.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass. So he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
Smith going to look to throw right away. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the game's opening play and a quick first down. And we see the emphasis early here. Get your star receiver involved. Able to do it successfully.
Not a bad start to begin with, that's for sure. And to me, this play says, our guy is better than your guys. Because, a player of his stature, he won't just be single covered all game long. He's going to involve multiple people. And right away, they told the other team, guess what? He's just better.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. The numbers for Mixon last week, 21 carries, 116 yards.
And the way they ran the ball last week has to bring a smile to the faces of the entire coaching staff because not only are they seeing a back pile up yardage, they're seeing an offensive line in sync, and that bodes well this late in the season.
The Smith throw going to be caught by Davis. Now Geno. Finding Lockett for the catch here on the out route. And he will have a Jaguars first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Geno now to throw. They will find Davis. That's complete. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. Really a solid start here on the opening drive, Charles. He's now 4 of 4, and they're already in plus territory.
Brandon, he's been so precise to start this game. Like we're watching an operation taking place right now. Master surgeon at work.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Inside handoff to Mixon. And he'll get this just inside the 30-yard line. Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And the ball is knocked out. They'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. But
nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Randy Gregory in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year. And Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And he put enough leg into it, but it's well off to the right and no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. That opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
Detroit's offense ready to take over. And they are a game under 500 now following the loss a week ago. And this is a team, Charles, that just has not been able to string victories together.
Yeah, they're certainly going the wrong way, aren't they? Because it looked like they had things pointing in the right direction, but now they've lost 2 straight. And that means this game is vital. Extremely important because they've won 2 games below 500. The road back into playoff contention, awfully difficult. Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Throwing on first down. Strong. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. 2nd and 4. They'll get this complete to Calvin Austin. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. A check on Jacobs from a week ago. 20 carries, 75 yards.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that. But they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Operating from the gun. Strong. He'll get this underneath to Jacobs. And he is going to have the Lions first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7. Well, it seems pretty clear on this opening drive that they want to get him involved, not only, Charles, in the run game, but in the pass game as well. And he can be such a weapon for them when they utilize him this way.
And, partner, you know I'm a veteran, right? In other words, that means a little bit older. Back in my day, we used to call a guy like this a workhorse, except he carried the ball all the time. Now they get it to him a variety of ways, but you're right. They want to run their offense through him.
He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line. 2nd down, Jacobs once more. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. And they'll try and run for the first with Sermon. And this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
On 4th down, Strong. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs. The D brought the house, they called the blitz, and they get to the quarterback, overwhelming the O-line.
And I would love to know, and we'll find out later on, was that called before the play, or did they audible into it? Because defenses change plays as well as offenses. Sometimes they get the set they want. They go right to the blitz, and in this case, they nailed it. Got right to the quarterback. No chance on that fourth down.
Now Geno on first down.
That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end.
And he'll be dropped at the 36. It's a good gain of 18 on a play that originated back at the 18. Well, starting drive number 2 off on the right foot. Completion for the first down. Drive 1 that had to be pretty frustrating because they moved the football. They just didn't get any points out of it.
Well, warm-up QB2. Let's bring in the backup. I mean, my goodness, you take them downfield and you don't score points. You know I'm being totally facetious here, right? I'm just kidding. Nice first drive. Rarely do teams score on every single drive in a game, but they like what they did there. They just hope they can pay it off this time with some points.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
My goodness, they've come out locked in on this drive. Play calling, execution, they are fully in sync. 3 straight passes, 3 first downs. They're moving the ball downfield almost at will. This defense really struggling to find answers.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Off of play action, here's Smith. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. Now Smith.
He'll drop this one down to Mixon, and he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. He lets it fly for Lockett. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. And that one will be no good. He never had it online. It's well wide to the left, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive.
Kind of a lucky break on the prior drive, Charles. The turnover on downs that the offense had didn't come back to bite them after the other side. Their defense came through, was able to hold them without any points.
I would agree with you, partner. A little bit of a lucky break indeed, but you know what they'd say to us? No luck, just pure skill. We wrote.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit.
Bottom line, when you play a runner with these talents, you've got to be able to wrap up and get him on the ground. Or the first person who gets there, hold him up long enough for the next wave to get there and get him down. Otherwise, he will continue downfield and find pay dirt.
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. It's up, it's good, and the Lions lead at 7-0. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. 1 play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
And a touchback as Dortch elects not to return it.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the field goal out of it.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They'll stay on the ground, mixing again. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Here's Smith. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield.
Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Pulled in at the 24. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
92 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
On 1st and 10, Strong.
And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Looking deep for Adams. And in for the Lions, touchdown. Davante Adams with touchdown number 8 on the year.
And the Lions go up by 2 touchdowns.
Well, with that touchdown pass, I'm going to bring up a point from earlier in the year. Some of the fans were saying, when do we turn to the rookie? Well, he's looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, I love the fact that the fans are bringing that up because I'm not the head coach. Okay, so he's got to deal with it. But I think it's a legitimate question. With the way their season is going, I think now is the time to turn the page and let him get some starts before this season is over.
A scoring summary, 3-play drive.
And Davante Adams able to finish things with a touchdown reception. Fielded just outside the goal line. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Throwing now is Geno.
And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's 2nd down.
Throwing is Smith.
And that one going to come up short, low throw.
This offense on 3rd down today. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Again, Smith.
That one thrown away from the pocket. And the officials kind of looking at each other. But they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass. And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Week 13 here in the NFL, first weekend of December. Playoff races definitely coming into focus now, and we got a couple of good ones in prime time. Tonight, national audience gets a look at the Colts for a second straight weekend. This time they're at Dallas, 7:20 Central Time for that kick. And then Monday night, Saints and Bucks from Tampa.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Complete to Austin here over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
It's not often that you find offensive and defensive guys that'll agree on much, but one place they find common ground, you've got to protect or attack the middle of the field. And no one was there. What a big play, moving it downfield.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Back to throw. Strong.
That's complete. It's Greg Dulcich. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of the defense.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll look to throw again. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Hassan Reddick from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
Yeah, the next-gen stats going to show that sack carried out in just 2.5 seconds from beginning to end. And this one too low.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Strong. Looking deep for Adams. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Davante Adams. His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Lions take a 3-touchdown lead.
Well, partner, I mean, if anybody was still questioning whether or not he had an NFL caliber arm, I think you can toss that right out the window. That was a heck of a throw right there.
I would agree totally. Question it no more. This rookie, big-time throw right there. Great poise, stepped up, trusted he could lay it in there perfectly, and he knew that his guy was going to make the catch on the other end. Nice collaboration.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it's now 21-0. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
Taken at the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball. And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, They need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Smith got his man complete over the middle. It's Davis. Smith on 3rd down. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he is going to have a Jags first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, they use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Mixon with a first down carry. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. From just shy of midfield, Smith toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. 7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Smith now to throw. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon.
He's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. Smith dumps it off to Mixon.
And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. Now it's Smith. To Mixon on the check down. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Prater's kick is good, and the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18.
So they do come up with their first points of the game, but Charles, the question is going to shift to their defense.
Yeah, the way things have gone, 3 points could become insignificant fast if this grows to 28-3 or 35-3. They need this defense to come up with a stop, and they need to do it now.
Prater now will send it away following the made field goal.
Amir Smith-Marset now from his end zone. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. Detroit's offense ready to take over. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
Despite a little power on the move, still tackled shy of the 20. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Back to throw. Strong. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt.
Back deep, the former All-Pro Tyler Lockett. It's taken to the 26. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return.
And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up first and 10 at their own 37. Now Geno. They'll set up the screen here to mix him. And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Looking to throw again on second down. Smith. And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI.
So a PI call going to cost him there defensively. What did you see?
Well, I think it's the right call, partner, because sometimes we'll see officials kind of let them play. But by the letter of the law, that's definitely a penalty.
And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
Now, that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
First and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
Now a timeout called for by the offense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. To the air again, Smith. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Smith on first down.
This goes out wide for Mixon.
And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. Throwing again on second down. Smith. Touchdown, Jaguars.
Gabriel Davis.
A 9-yard touchdown grab.
And the Jaguars get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in the second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. Now Matt Prater for the point after. It's up and good, and the lead is down now at 11. It's 21-10. So the drive there took 6 plays.
And it ends with a touchdown pass to Gabriel Davis. From the end zone is Smith-Marset. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Lions now taking over late in this first half. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room.
Throwing to start the drive. Strong. And he rifles one incomplete. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Strong. Now they go screen. It's complete. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain.
Holding. Offense.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. Returnable for Lockett. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things definitely getting interesting around the NFL as we begin the month of December. So let's get right to it. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. We continue on with the check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Jags. And they've had plenty of success throwing the football so far this afternoon, as they're on pace to throw for over 300 yards if their form holds. And meanwhile, for the Lions, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3.
And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
Second down, Jacobs once more. They find some open field here. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at a 45.
132 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues.
He had a really solid first half running the football and picking up where he left off here in the third quarter.
How about the yardage he's piling up right now? This feels like a full game, not just this series that we're watching right now. I know people are screaming, where are the adjustments from halftime on the defensive side of the ball? Sometimes they're just not there. Sometimes you just have to find a way to tackle someone.
Once again, it's Jacobs. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And this one's incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Looking to throw. Strong. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they'll bring him down right at midfield, and he is well short of the first down. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
And that's all about recognition right there because he's got to go from pass rush mode to pursuit mode, what defensive line coaches like to call retracing. And he's able to retreat and make the tackle for just a short gain.
Here's Tressway now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2.
And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and this is scooped up by the Lions.
Loose inside the 30, inside the 10.
And into the end zone with a scoop and score on the fumble return for the Detroit touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
Sanders on for the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
Taking it about the 1. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Jaguars offense ready to set up shop here again. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Back to the air, Smith on second down. Now hit his, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Geno now to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through, dropping for an 8-yard loss.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's had himself a game.
And the Jaguars send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Returnable here from the 38. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
On second down, Jacobs. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. On third down, Strong. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Hassan Reddick picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Like how they've started the 3rd quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their 2nd win coming out of the locker room.
Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one.
Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll fake it. Now Smith. He'll air this one out deep for Davis. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Mixon.
And he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32.
Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up.
Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, are going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Back to throw, Smith. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Well, that's one way to convert on third down, picking up 26 yards.
Well, just say thank you, Mr. QB. That ball gets tipped in the air, and they come out with a first down.
You've said it before, sometimes better to be lucky than good.
Yeah, but what you have to do as a defender, that ball's in the air, you've got to go up and get it, and at worst, knock it to the ground.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Here's Smith. He finds his running back, Mixon.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
To throw again on 2nd down. Smith. Over the middle, that's caught by QT.
And he'll be brought down at the 27.
That's a nice catch there. Remember, he had the fumble earlier. No way he was giving up the ball in that situation. Secured it tight to his body and picks up the first down.
Smith throwing again. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. Charles, to move the chains that time, they had to complete it into double coverage, and they got it done.
And it's never easy overcoming multiple defenders, but he sure made it look simple. Found the right spot to exploit and won his 1-on-2 matchup.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And they'll get to him just inside the 15, even after that strong run we witnessed.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down.
And he loses the football a second time. And this is scooped up by the Lions.
I know a lot of defensive coaches have certain guys on their squad that they look to as drive stoppers, guys who can make big plays, interceptions, knock it free. In this case, they didn't need one. The offense supplied it for them, just dropping the ball.
Yeah, and that was after they were doing so well on this drive through the air. They go to the ground, doesn't work.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
Now Smith.
A quick reaction as he catches it off the tip.
It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal.
Well, sure looked pretty coming off of his hand, but sometimes you might have to take a little bit off of it. That one looked a little too hot to handle.
Yeah, but off the tip, hey, they still got the catch, right?
It's amazing, isn't it? Even when it goes wrong, it turns out right.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Throwing now is Geno. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. Throwing is Smith. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Mark Andrews, a 1-yard touchdown reception.
And the Jaguars are able to cut into that deficit.
No surprise there, 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
Extra point good by Prater. And the lead is down to 11 at 28-17. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there.
Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10.
Throwing to start the drive. Strong. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Hassan Reddick able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
A CD, a little bit of feast or famine for him. He's had some success throwing the football, but also now he's been sacked 4 times.
Yeah, you just mentioned the 4 sacks, but you're right. He has managed to hang in there and make plays at times. His offensive line, they've got to figure it out and pick things up and give him more opportunities, and he has to help them by getting rid of the ball a little bit quicker as well.
To throw on 2nd down. Strong. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Same target. It's Jacobs again.
And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Now it's Lockett. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Smith looking middle, and that's complete. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a 1st down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a 1-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. On 1st down, Smith. He's going to find his running back. It's complete.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Throwing again is Smith. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. They get 6. That'll leave him with 3rd and 4.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Smith. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews.
And he will have a Jaguars first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. From the gun, here's Smith. Dumps it off to Mixon. So they'll get nothing out of that play, and it's 2nd down. Smith. This one caught by his tight end, Andrews.
And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
3rd and 2, Smith.
He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman. And he is going to have a Jags first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Well, hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Mixing up the middle. He will push his way down to about the 14. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Smith throwing into traffic there, and that's complete.
And the Jaguars are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now Geno.
Right back to Davis. It's complete.
And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
Well, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
The line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Out of the gun, Smith. Dancing to his left. To the back of the end zone, but too high. Over everybody and incomplete. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points.
That penalty is declined.
So here we go now as the Jaguars will go for 2. Geno's going to throw. It's complete, and he will get into the end zone as a 2-point conversion is successful, and the lead is down to a field goal here in the 4th. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And Detroit getting set to go now. This game has really flipped on its head. 2 unanswered touchdowns by the other side, and now they take over here with just a very slim 1-score lead.
And we've seen this how many times now? Teams get a big lead, they go into coast mode, and all of a sudden they're scrambling and battling for a win down the stretch. They've got to put something together right here, otherwise they're in danger of doing the old snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. That should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on first and second downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. Jacobs going to try the middle. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. The offense on third down, they've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 4. It's caught here by Adams. And he is going to have a Lions first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8. Pretty good location there on that throw.
It really was, wasn't it? That was like the one where the receiver was either going to catch it or no one. Really good decision. And boy, what a catch and move right there.
And a tough spot to get it over the middle. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much. Here comes the 7th play now in this drive as this is 3rd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars 36. A 3rd down conversion with a strong gain of 14.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Back to throw again. His throw incomplete. Well, this drive, they're a perfect 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions, but they need a full 10 yards here. Operating from the gun. Strong. And a throw there going to be incomplete. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to swell the lead to 6. The kick by Sanders is good. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6.
So they hadn't called on him at all until this point, but he comes through here and buries one from long range.
Yeah, that's awfully impressive because usually kickers like to get that first one out of their system in the first quarter, sort of get them into the flow of the game, but to come in this late and knock it down from long distance, give him a lot of credit.
And a touchback as Dortch elects not to return it.
Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here.
The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
On 2nd and 7, Smith slings it to Andrews, and Andrews lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
The slant connects with Devontae Adams. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. What do you think about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up.
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Back to throw. Strong.
He'll find Smith-Marset complete. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Looking to throw. Strong. And a little floater there is incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Operating from the gun. Strong. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Back to throw. Strong. He finds his man. Complete. That's Jacobs. Oh, no, he lost the football. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit, because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden, they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the 4th, a costly turnover. Following the fumble recovery, Smith. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Smith. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. Pushes him over. Good contain. No gain on the screen, and they'll bring it up 4th down. Here we go on 4th. Smith. And able to catch it, but he's out of bounds. Now the throw took him beyond the sideline, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. So now let's look at the situation. They do have all 3 timeouts remaining, so barring a 1st down, they could conceivably get the ball back.
So now it's all about defense and stopping the clock. Don't give up any yardage, right? Use your timeouts. And your offense always practices going downfield without timeouts. You know, those 2-minute drills, most of them are run in practice without the benefit of timeouts. They want to make it as tough a situation as possible. They're in it right now.
Here's a handoff to Jacobs. A nice display of powerful running, but it takes him only to the 7. He's dropped there. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their 1st timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. Here's Jacobs. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Josh Jacobs, his 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Lions look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
So the Lion offense staying on the field as they're going to try for 2. They'll try and throw for it. And he's got it. So the 2-point conversion is good, and they add on to their fourth quarter lead. So they're able to throw it in for the two-point conversion. Sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense. That's 2 points for them, but he identified an open target and put it right on him.
And a touchback as Dortch elects not to return it.
So now the Jags down by 2 touchdowns. Less than 90 seconds to go. A crushing loss to their playoff chances on the horizon, barring a huge turnaround here, starting with 1st and 10. Smith on first down. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Smith.
Pass complete to QT.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Geno now to throw.
And that's complete to Davis.
Gets through and now an opening. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Smith throwing again. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. Back to the air, Smith on 2nd down.
He'll drop this one down to Mixon. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Desperation time for Smith on 4th down. He lets it fly for Lockett. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Lions will take over. And the Lions will take the knee here with victory in the cards. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it.
So it's a win here for the Lions. And it was their quarterback who led the way, Charles. Pretty impressive play for a rookie.
Yeah, what struck me was how composed he was in the pocket. The numbers weren't spectacular. He had 2 touchdown passes, that's it. But he led his guys on some important drives when they needed it most. And they're going to come away with the victory.
So for Detroit, the win gets them back to 500 at 6-6 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Minnesota Vikings come to town. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, it's a tough one to swallow as they drop back to 8-4 on the year. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville.